It's been a while, but we are back on the multi-story arc where I take pop culture characters and characters from other series like anime characters and other genres, and I bring them into this multiverse venomizing story arc that's been developing on the channel. We're going to continue where Megatron left off, so let's start bringing this illustration to life. Back on Megatron's spaceship, the Venom symbiote was in one of Shockwave's testing chambers that had an energy force field, ensuring the symbiote cannot escape, while the walls were emitting a low but steady acoustic pulse that was set to the frequency that will weaken and leave the symbiote in a contained state. Through analysis, Shockwave discovered a way to create a clone of the symbiote's DNA, but with nanomachinery to stimulate the cells so that it would do what they want it to do, using a device that Shockwave created. In effect, it hijacked the signals from the cells of the symbiote, changing them and taking away the creature's free will, even when it bonded to a host. Megatron enters the lab with Soundwave and Starscream. "Shockwave, what's the latest in your experiment to this creature? I want its power as mine," said Megatron. "Lord Megatron, I've made changes to the creature's DNA, and the creature in this cell, in theory, will be under your control with this device. However, I have not tested it yet." Meanwhile, as Shockwave was updating Megatron, Starscream was looking at the creature Shockwave had created based on Venom's DNA, and sniggered with a remark in his usual arrogant tone. "What's so special about this organic, Lord Megatron? It's far beneath you to be wanting something as pitiful as this to give you power to defeat Optimus Prime and the Autobots." With that, Megatron says to Starscream, "Why don't you find out for yourself?" And he opens the cell as the altered symbiote launches at Starscream. "Ah!" screaming Starscream. "Why, Lord Megatron, why?" On its knees with his arm stretched towards Megatron, the symbiote wrapped around and altered Starscream as he crawled across the lab floor. Once the symbiote finished fusing with Starscream, it launched towards Megatron, attacking him, but suddenly stopped mid-swing. Megatron's face went from surprise to the same grin that caused Venom to hesitate in fear at the Decepticon outpost. "Excellent, Shockwave. I want to know how your experiments turn out with this new version of Starscream, and I want the device ready so I can control it, even when bonded to it." "Yes, Lord Megatron," replied Shockwave as Megatron walked out of the lab with Soundwave. Venom looked curious about what happened as Shockwave ordered the now venomized Starscream to follow him, and as Shockwave turned and as he began to walk, Starscream began to follow. But on his back as they walked away, Venom noticed a face forming with an all too familiar grin, and the face winked at Venom and faded into Starscream's back again. Now, for this one, I thought it'd be fun, but it'd also be quite awesome to capture the moment Starscream was on his knees begging Megatron for the reason why he was being used as a test subject in Shockwave's experiments on the Venom symbiote. I also wanted to work a bit more on perspective on this, so I started with the drawing grid to try and get a 3-point perspective, to try and get the angle right for sort of like the height in the image and kind of how it would look, which I've kind of got, but I think it still needs a bit more work, and it's something I'm going to be working on my illustrations to improve them by adding a bit more perspective to them instead of always being straight on. And all in all, I am happy with how this turned out in terms of the pose and perspective, and I quite like it. I also have to say, out of all the Transformers, and that's the ones that I've drawn on the channel so far, Unicron, Megatron, Galvatron, Shockwave, Grimlock, the Dinobots, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, all of them, including my earlier Venomized Autobots and Venomized Decepticons. Starscream I found was one of the hardest to draw. He's not got the most difficult design. I think it's more the case of it's the plain parts, like the wings don't look quite right, and he's got his blasters on his arm, So they kind of don't look right in perspective at times. So I struggled with that a lot, but I hope it came out quite well and I hope you guys liked it. It is something I want to work on more, and I will be doing another Starscream illustration on the channel at some point. Maybe I'll come back to him in a year's time and do a redrawing of the Venomized version. But that is something for another time. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the process of bringing this Venomized Starscream to life. If you did, and you fancy smashing the like button, be sure to smash that like button. But anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of the process of turning Starscream into its Venom. So there you have it. Hope you enjoy the process of venomizing Starscream on this episode of the multi-story arc. I think I want to give you guys a bit more input into how this is developing and processing. I want it to be something that we can kind of like create a community, or we can kind of develop together. So what I'm going to do is on my Instagram, which will be linked in the description below as well as pop up on the screen somewhere. Anyway, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe and turn on notifications up to videos as they come out. Remember everybody, stay safe and I'll catch you next time.